Welcome back to theCUBE, here at our studio at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Gemma Allen, and this is our show connecting Wall Street to Silicon Valley. Joining me today, I have a lady who is no stranger to the world of AI, connecting consumer technology to one of life's most universal experiences, which is parenting. Joining me in studio, Anushka Salinas, CEO of Nanit. Welcome, Anushka.
Thanks for having me.
So, tell me, I know you've got some big news to talk about in the show today, and we're very excited to learn about it. But before we go there, tell me a little bit about your own career journey. You've had an interesting trajectory: fashion, Rent the Runway, Hudson Bay. Now you're in the world of parenting and baby technology. Did we ever think we'd say that? Baby technology. But talk to me about the journey you've been on.
Yeah, well, I think the through line of my career, as you said, I spent about 20 years in the consumer space, a lot of that time in kind of fashion and apparel businesses, but the through line has really been designing kind of game-changing consumer experiences, and certainly Rent the Runway was that, building a completely new category, being a category creator, and Nanit, although it seems like it's a very different business in baby technology and AI, and a hardware and software business, is actually quite similar. The company was founded 11 years ago by two dads, which I actually think is amazing. And with kind of AI at the core of the business, but really about creating a category in one that was really antiquated before, which was baby monitors. Historically and for decades, they were kind of staticky, two-way walkie-talkies, and the founders of Nanit really innovated the category with smart baby monitor technology that brought sleep insights to children and families for the first time.
Well, let's talk a little about the product, because I think when a lot of us, I have two little kids, when I think about baby monitors, I think about like nanny cams, more just like a video watching the child, right, checking to make sure that the kid is asleep when you're out, etc., during the night. But this is about something far deeper and far more technically innovative than that. It's about really understanding your child's pathology, their sleep, their health. Talk to us about exactly what the product does.
Yeah, so when the company was founded, it really was about being able to provide that always-on window into your child and really to help children get back to sleep and get better quality sleep so that also parents could sleep and the entire family could sleep. And they delivered on that. Nanit families sleep 10% more on average than non-Nanit families. So that's 36 more nights of sleep, which is amazing.
I wish I had that.
I know, we all do as parents of young children. But really we're innovating the category for a second time with the creation of this early childhood intelligence system. And through computer vision and machine learning capabilities, we're really shining a light on not just sleep with our personalized sleep coach, but in motor milestones, speech, health, and breathing, and memories as well, and sort of bringing memory capture in, because as a working parent, you know this as well as I do, there's lots of moments that you miss and milestones that you miss, so we're able to really do that as well.
I think I shared with you off camera, I missed my daughter's first step. So again, like such a powerful thing, right? Yep. It's a powerful moment.
It is.
So tell me a little about the company, founded by two dads, been around how many years? How big are you guys? Where are you based?
Yeah, so we're headquartered right here about a mile away down in Tribeca in New York. We have global operations. We're have obviously a large business in the US, but we're in 25 countries around the world as well. We manufacture our products in Asia, outside of China. And we have about 150 employees.
Wow, and I know one of the reasons you're here with us, like I said at the beginning, is you've got some very big news this week, right? Fill us in on what's been going on.
Yeah, so we're really excited to announce that we've closed a growth round of $50 million led by Spring Coast Partners with participation from Upfront and JVP. And that funding is really to help us build out our AI capabilities and really build out that early childhood intelligence system.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful news.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the technology developments in this space. Like we said at the start, I never thought I'd really be saying baby technology, right? But it feels like now the future is so uncertain, but also so technically charged that it seems as though anything is possible. What sort of ways in which are you guys building, integrating AI and machine learning into the product roadmap? How do you picture the next 5 years from a kind of baby consumer tech, parenting consumer tech landscape?
Well, the world is such an interesting place now, right? I think you and I are both fall into the majority of Americans that track sleep, stress, even glucose, right? Adults are using wearables at a really fast pace, and yet sort of the population that could benefit the most from early interventions, which is babies and young children, there's kind of this huge gap in the data and tracking. And so, when you look at what's happening today, pediatricians have very little time with a child, sometimes only once a year, and they're relying on these, quick couple of minute check-ins and then whatever a parent may remember of what happened over the last several months, which, if you're me, is not everything, right? And so it gives this really large gap in the data, and children are developing at a very fast pace. So we believe that technology has the power, technology like Nanit, to really be that partner to parents to help fill in some of those gaps of objective data and science-based insights that really help bolster parent instinct instead of replace it.
And I guess data is so powerful, right? And you guys will have a huge amount of data on children, on their patterns. It's also a very personal and I guess, an increasingly concerning space in terms of where that data goes, what's happening to some of our most precious information. Yes. Talk to me a little bit about that side of your business in terms of how that's protected, who owns it, where does it live?
Yeah, well, as a mother of 2 young kids, first and foremost, I can tell you that privacy and security is of utmost importance to us at Nanit. We take it very seriously that families trust us to be in their most intimate places in their home. And I think you see that we've delivered on that trust. So independent research has validated that 97% of Nanit families feel that we are fundamentally a brand that they can trust. And so we have what I like to call bank level security, right? So 256-bit encryption and no personalized information or data that is shared outside of the individual family. So we deliver personalized insights to you about your child, and only you can see those insights or that data.
Wow, and it's subscription-based, I assume?
It's subscription-based, yes.
Okay, monthly. And tell me a little bit about that world too, about subscription revenue, how that's playing out. I feel like there's been, from even your background at Rent the Runway, right? The subscription curve has been somewhat of a roller coaster for a lot of industries. Yeah. How do you think about that from a commercial perspective? Yeah,
subscription is a really important piece of our business model, and we've continued to build that business all the way since 2020, so it's been part of our business model for a long time, and I think that's a big differentiator for us in this space. But the subscription model allows us to continue to innovate at an extremely fast pace, so bringing in new AI capabilities, again, in a closed loop, very secure system, but that provides those insights, so personalized sleep coaching. So this week we're rolling out our sleep score, which helps give a really clear snapshot for families into what happened last night, and then that helps them plan out the day ahead of them. So really, really amazing innovations.
I guess what really interests me about the wearable space, right? Like I wear an Oura ring, I look at my sleep, I certainly I ingest that data. Do you see a future whereby some of these platforms, some of these models like Nanit and others, that it will be like a two-way conversation where you will be like asking, your wearable device for advice on situations? Yeah. Like, how far away do you think we are from that?
I think we're very close. I think that is a goal for us. We see that, the 364 days of the year that you're not with your pediatrician to answer questions, that quiet space is not quiet. Parents have questions every single day. I'm sure we both do. Is this normal? What can I expect next? Should I worry about this, right? These are the questions that as parents of, young children we have every moment. And what we see now is that parents of young children are going to ChatGPT and other programs at twice the rate of non-parents. And I think that's really showing you that parents are already relying on AI to help answer the questions that they have every day. I think what we can provide and what we will continue to provide is context on what's happening with your child. So whereas you could go to ChatGPT and say, I have an 18-month-old, is it normal that they're not walking yet? You're going to get really generic information and a very wide band of what's quote unquote normal. in a closed loop system where we have all the context on your child, you could chat with us to know, based on all the context that we have around how they're sleeping, how they're growing, how their weight is tracking, how the interactions with the parent are, how their speech is tracking, whether it's normal for your child. So I think that two-way conversation is where the world is going in health, and I think it's really exciting. Certainly the things that we're seeing with the adult sort of proactive health space, I think is, paving a really exciting way for the future.
You know, it's interesting, like a few years ago, a lot of people had, became a Google doctor, right? You ask Google a question, then I personally convinced myself I had all sorts of ailments, right?
Yeah.
But I think in the world of LLMs and generative AI, there's certainly like a lot of opportunity for people to self-inform, and there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of non-factual information, confusion, and, when I think about some of these platforms like Nanit or, any of these, really kind of micro communities around B2C tech, how do you think the audience engagement side of that remains stable and, consistent? How do you think about that? Like, how do you separate the signal from the noise in a marketing landscape that's so noisy right now?
Yeah. Well, listen, we see incredible engagement with our product, and I think that all comes back to the value that we're providing to families every single day and the clarity that they're getting from this sort of objective data and science-based insights that we provide. So we have what I would say are best-in-class engagement metrics. So we have over 1 million monthly active users, and those users are engaging every single day. So our DAU to MAU is north of 70%.
Wow, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the supply chain. I know it's a hardware product, it's a both, right? But it is a hardware device. It's a tough time for ODMs. It's a tough time for that whole ecosystem. We've seen a lot of political challenge around tariffs and what they might mean, and what it means to have FPP models coming in from Asia, etc.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about your model and how you've, I guess, circumvented some of the challenges this year.
Yeah, I think 2020 and sort of the prior Trump administration was maybe good training wheels for people and certainly for us on supply chain resiliency and ability to strategically optimize your supply chain in various ways based on kind of the rules of the road at that time. So we moved manufacturing out of out of China at that point in time. And of course with kind of some of the changes that happened this year have worked a lot to kind of make sure we could optimize our supply chain. I think for us, it's a great at Nanit moment to reinforce the value of the hardware-software model. And I certainly hope that consumers begin to understand that more and more over time, which is it's increasingly challenging to have a business that's just based on hardware alone. And the hardware-software models help provide the, margin cushion to be able to continue to invest and innovate. People have our products for 5+ years, so really the hardware is just the beginning of the relationship with the family.
So Anushka, talk to me a little bit about the leadership side of this. And I know one topic that's close to both of our hearts is the whole area of women, right? Women leaders, women in the workplace. We've spoken in the past about how in a way this product helps working women, right? Like it helps you feel like you're not missing those milestone moments, etc. But it's a tough time for women right now. There was some very the Sandberg survey that went out this week was quite upsetting, I think. Yeah. But real, right? It's great to see the data back up how I think a lot of us are feeling. You've been on quite a journey professionally. How do you think about this moment? Like how do you treat this place you're in from the perspective of female leadership within Nanit, and how do you think about things broadly?
Yeah. Listen, I think that study that was released earlier this week is tough for female leaders like us to see, because I certainly want to create an environment at any company that I work for and lead where we do lift young women up and create opportunities, and you hope that they want those opportunities too. So I think it's so tough when you see this kind of data. I think it reinforces the passion I have for the mission that we're on at Nanit, because the product is in many ways about equalizing the load between, that mental load that so often mom, who's usually default parent, feels. It helps to equalize that load, because almost half of our users on the platform are dads. And what that means is it's not just up to mom to keep the mental to-do list. When did the child last eat? How much did they sleep last night? Did they nap, right? Actually, it's all in one platform that can be shared by both both parents, caregivers, grandma, whoever it is that's sort of part of the digital village, as I like to call it, kind of helps to equalize the playing field. And one of the things that was brought up in that study, I think, is that women are citing not wanting to go back into the office or having challenges in work flexibility. And I think a platform like Nanit, as I said, sort of allows you to be at the office but still know what's going on at home. And I think a lot of transitioning back into being in the office, which has caused a lot of anxiety for moms, is about still feeling like they're connected and still feeling like they know what's happening at home and not feeling like they're all of a sudden abandoning their family.
Absolutely. And
so I love that mission for that reason.
You have a sense of control, I guess, right?
Yes.
Even if it is, somewhat long earned, at least you feel like you're staying in the loop, right? I get
and
that.
that you're not missing, the first steps.
Oh yeah, I know.
Those things that I think can be like a stab in the gut as a mom.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're missing a milestone, at least you can still hold on to it.
100%. Well, listen, Anushka, close us out here. Tell us, exciting week for you guys with the next new round of money. What's ahead for you and the team for the next 12 months? What are the big bets?
Yeah.
Give us the pitch.
Yeah, we're really excited about what we're building. I think I look at the world of accelerating proactive health with adults, and I think it's super exciting. And I look at what we are doing at Nanit, which is shining a light and providing objective data and science-based insights for children ages 0 to 5, where 90% of the brain is developing. And I think it's necessary, and we must do it. We must sort of fill the gap of information of child development. And so we're excited to be using AI to do that and to put this fresh capital to work to bring Nanit to millions of families around the world.
Well, we'll be watching. Thank you so much for coming on theCUBE.
Thank you so much.
I'm Gemma Allen here at the CUBE studio at the New York Stock Exchange, where we're connecting Silicon Valley to Wall Street. Thanks so much for watching.